In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all a stock that is setting up to make a huge move this week, and why y'all should keep it in your watch list. We're also going to look at the overall markets to get you guys ready as always. Alright, y'all, let's dive right into the charts right off the bat. We got the NASDAQ futures, and on Friday there was some data that came out that caused another push upward on the NASDAQ. If you remember yesterday, I was expecting the price to actually stay here. I forgot that there was gonna be data released, but the main point that I wanted to get across was that anybody who bought calls right here during that breakout of that small structure, they would have taken their money off the table. All right, that little red thing, as soon as the market opened, it didn't stay up for more than an hour. It went up for a little bit until 9 a.m. and then immediately people started taking profits, taking their money off the table. And throughout the rest of the day, the market didn't really do too much. It really didn't. Now, looking at the other indices like the Dow Jones and IWM, which is the Russell, we're actually looking pretty bullish ahead of that. So this one right here, I was suspecting the move up to 204. I didn't think that the data would actually cause the spike to happen pre-markets. And this is the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is the only one on the 4-hour that's showing a really bullish structure. So let's look at that really quick. Dow Jones. All right, so this is how it's looking like. All right, we have it stayed up at 387 throughout the whole day on Friday. And if this is to behave really well, all right, if it doesn't play any games, then we could see it go all the way up to 391 by like Wednesday. Okay, but because it's, again, be very cautious, especially with the days that are coming. It seems like the bulk of the moves are happening during nights, and then during the day the candle tends to be really small. All right, so just be cautious for that. There was a gap on the left which almost got completely filled on Friday. The gap will be filled at 388.70 for the Dow Jones. So just watch how it behaves at that specific level. Okay, now the stock that is setting up to make a huge move within the next few days, that stock is Roblox once again. All right, now I want to share Roblox with y'all because the setup is there not only on the daily chart but also on the weekly. If you look at this whole piece right here, we have the left shoulder, we have the head, and then we have the right shoulder. So the data that came out that made the Russell 2000 push higher caused Roblox also to push higher and open up at $39. If you take a look at the weekly, it's looking like that. We have a break of the 9 SMA, and we have earnings that is coming up, and they're gonna report earnings on the 9th of this month, which would be, I believe this is Thursday morning. All right, so I would say I wouldn't be shocked at all if we see Roblox crush earnings and we see a massive candle on the weekly chart that starts off like around 40 and that breaks all the way right through to $48. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, just to complete the structure. Like, the reaction through earnings will validate the structure that we see right now. So the setup is there. Keep this one in your watch list. If you're gonna gamble through earnings, be really careful. Like I always say on this channel, holding through earnings is 150% gambling. All right, and they could disappoint. The stock could disappoint, and we could drop all the way down to 25. So just keep that in mind. Be really cautious, very cautious. But hey, I'm here to present the setups as they appear and my initial thoughts on them. All right, so That's my thoughts on Roblox. The next one that we're going to look at, we're going to do an update on Netty, because Netty was one of the stocks that I've mentioned last week. Congrats to anybody who, I would say, gambled through earnings. Again, it is a gamble, and the reaction through earnings validated two structures, not just one. The first structure that it validated was this one, the bearish pennant that broke down in the middle of April and then retested in the form of a bear flag right here. I made that video for y'all. I think it was here or here. I'm not sure. I think it was between these 2 days that I told y'all to watch it for a drop down to 81. And the drop didn't happen until the reported earnings, and we saw the massive drop. All right. So right now, I would say slowly watch this thing for a turnaround. It's going to chop for a few days before it gives us new structure that would make us want to be bullish on the stock. All right. Something that I actually just noticed is that there is a gap to fill right here at 63, and that might actually fill. That gap might actually fill if QQQ drops to 406. The moment the tide shifts, I'm not sure when, and it's still very, very sus. Like, it's still sus. The markets, the indices, QQQ. All right, and we have that 407 level right here for that. So the moment the tide shifts and we see some massive sell-off for some reason, that gap on Netty, which is at 63, could get filled at that same exact time. Now, the next one that we're going to look at in today's video, that one is XPE. And congrats to anybody who made money on that one. Again, I told y'all, set up your alerts right here, right below 123, and wait for it to ring. In the morning, we saw a big red candle pre-market, but this is the red candle that I was talking about. Volume over 1 million, which is, I believe, greater than the volume that we've seen during the after hours, 3 times more. So this is the type of fade that I was talking about. So congrats if you took a day trade on that and made some money on it. The next one to look at is a stock that didn't really do too well, or I would say a commodity. Gold. Now, gold is falling in a very annoying fashion. Very, very annoying. It's been resilient since the previous fall right here between the 29th and the 30th. All right. It's slowly fading. It's giving us nasty candles. We're not seeing big candles down like that. We're not seeing that yet. Maybe we see it in the next few days that are coming up. I mean, the indices right now, they haven't moved at all. Like they're pretty much flat. So we'll see how things open up in the morning. The gold futures / let's see. Okay. / GC. Yeah. Okay, / GC. Yeah, still bearish. It's showing a bunch of dojis. Set an alert right here at 2287. And watch also for the volume, because the volume is a big indicator of whether the stock is committed in that direction or not. All right. Now, the last sector that we gotta look at, we have to look at oil, and Oxy is the first one that we gotta look at. Again, this one is gonna be in trouble. It's been selling off since like the middle of April. It's very, very weak. Next level of resistance to watch for is around 61. I think that one might hit if BP tanks through earnings, because BP has earnings in like 2 days, I think. Yeah, on the 7th before the market opens. And there are gaps to fill, which are right around resistance, right around the previous level of support. So it will make sense for us to see a negative reaction through earnings for BP, and for the rest of the oil companies to pretty much tank and just go down to this level, consolidate sideways, and then we'll have to wait for new structure in order to know which direction they're going to go. So that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button. As always, I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you get notified when I release these videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, we can get all of this information in real time as I see them. You can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Guma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.